Hi everybody, it's Tom. So I'm making this second part of my videos. Today I'm gonna talk about why do I call this videos end of time. Um, I refer time to suffering. So when everything is alright, when you don't feel pain, no problems, nothing, everything is just going and flowing fluidly. Mostly, then you will see that you will forget time. Time will seem oblivious, and you won't remark it. But when you're hurt, when you feel pain, that it be physical or mentally, uh, then you start to feel the time. When something is bothering you, time is becoming very important, and you start to look at the time. And whatever time that is, I mean, whatever metric you're using to be calculating how much time it's taking, you're actually feeling how long it is taking, the suffering. So when suffering stops, time stops. And that's how simple it is. So time and suffering for me are one and the same. Um, how do we stop suffering? It is simple. Suffering is something that mostly comes from diseases, from bad feelings, hurt. Um, uh, you can think of many things that can bring you pain into the heart, into the body, into the mind, and those things makes it that you feel time. And this suffering, we can all stop it by working together. And to be able to do that, we have to first think about our system. If our system is not working, then surely we won't be able to solve these problems. We will mostly use it actually against these people to profit from it. And that is the system that we're living. We're profiting actually from suffering. We're profiting from time. It's like Einstein said, time is money. And when you say time is money, it's like time is profit, and so time is suffering. From suffer you make profit, from suffer you make money. And we have to step out of it. We have to step out of the suffering. We have to come together and say no more. And that's the whole principle of it. We have to use the law of good. With the law of good, it makes everything simple. It balances everything, because that is what makes everything actually be and be possible. Without the law of good, we wouldn't be. And it is written in all of us. Now, what system will replace the money and the property system? Very simple, the participation system. The participation system is a very simple system. It is a system that insists that everybody participates. It is the law. You must participate to, to every aspect that you can participate in. And we know each other. We know we can teach a lot to each other. We can learn to have multiple knowledges and faculties to be able to help in many fields, and so achieve all the goals that we need to achieve to be able to live better and solve all these problems that we're having. So solving the suffering. So to be able to stop this suffering, we have to stop first the system. The system is an illusion, so it can be stopped anytime, any day. And how? With the law of good. The law of good is very, very clear. It makes that money, property, the claim of it is absolutely criminal. And it can only be forced through intimidation, violence, murder, war, and actually it ends up in perpetual war because nobody will accept that, and there will be vengeance, and then it becomes a cycle. I believe I already told that. But anyway, the system that will replace money and property will be the participation system, and sharing all that we are producing together in an equitable way to make it that we achieve all our goals and to make life better. So we all understand what I'm talking about, and we all know where I'm going. And all that has been done with money through intimidation, violence, murder, war, all of that is just criminal. And so is criminalized. Because I said it. We all agree to that it is a criminal system. And it needs to be stopped right away. The fact that it's going on and all this stuff, no, maybe these people just don't understand that this system is actually not allowed. It's an abomination, a virus, a parasite that destroys everything, everywhere, and everybody. Nobody can profit from money. The idea that you're profiting is an illusion by itself, because you believe that when you're accumulating money you're living better than others, but you're not. You're not living better than others. You do not know what living better is, because you're living in a lie. You're living in an illusion. So you cannot ever achieve happiness. You can only achieve misery. And that's what you're doing everywhere when you're profiting. And that is why people must understand that the law has been spoken. And when it's spoken, there is no returning. Things must happen. I do understand that a lot of people would think I'm kind of crazy or something or whatever, but you do understand everybody what I'm talking about, and you know that I'm not crazy. I'm talking about something very serious that needs to happen now. You all ancestors, all these people before us, all this generation before us, and the generations to come, we are responsible as people to make sure that the law of good is enforced. All of us. It is our duty. You will call himself a law enforcer. You know which law you must enforce, and that is the law of good. It's the only law. You know what is odd about the law? They don't teach us at school. Why do you think they don't teach us law at school? Normally, if you really want your citizens to know what they should do and how to behave and how to follow the rules, you should tell them, right? You should teach them. You should, in any way, tell them what is the law so that they may not breach it. Or if they breach it, then you can tell them you knew what you did, so you breach it. But that's not the case. Most laws are almost unknown, and they don't teach it at school when it is actually primordial. And yeah, ask yourself why. Because they know by fact that law cannot be written in a book. It can't. You know why? Because the law is written in you, in us, in all of us. It is written in everything. It is a law that actually everybody knows. It's, some people call it causality. That when an action is done, an exact opposite reaction will happen. And so, in that fact, all things, when you do evil, evil will come back at you. That simple. So living in an evil system and all this stuff and believing that when you're a big group of people hanging around together, being evil, it's actually benefiting you. No, it is not. It is benefiting nobody. Not you, not anybody. And it will end up in you being even in a worse place than ever. Nobody wants to be. Because you will die. Ultimately, everybody will die. Nobody escapes that. So I don't understand these people. I don't understand their evil. And they have no power. That is actually what is odd about it. People think that money has power, but money has no power. You know what real power is? Persuasion. If you can persuade a person to do something, and he does it, whatever manipulation you put through behind it, that is power. And that is what is happening with money and property. It is the illusion that they're using against you, the people that are using it, so that they can better use you, so that they have power over you. So if you refuse it, you don't want to be part of that system, you can equally start your own system within everything, and they cannot stop you. You just have to come together and make it happen. Organize it, set up the goals, what needs to happen to make our life better. Ask everybody what they're good at. If there are people that want to learn some new specialties to be able to help better, we can do that. We can organize that because we are many now. We are many, many, many people, many minds. So all things that needs to be done can be done. And then we produce, create, achieve, and then live a very good life. And nobody can stop us. They have no power over us. And that's what we, all of us, have to realize. It is very important. It is a fact. And it must happen. Because we all have the right to live good, to live the best way we can. And we can achieve that together. But we must stop a criminal system. And that is the first step. By now I avoided all claim of property because I just said it by fact. It is a criminal act upon all living things. It is a criminal act upon life itself. Life cannot claim anything in this existence. It's impossible. Because life dies. That is the cycle. So we cannot own anything. We can only borrow it, use it. And to be honest, for all of us that has been born, we have seen this world before us. We have seen people before us. Sorry. We have always been here, for all as we know. So, believing that you can stop that in any kind of way or do all this evil and then when you die nothing happens is so naive, beyond explanation. Whatever act you do, whatever deed you do, you feel it. You feel it in yourself. You feel how heavy you become, like you're dragging something. And the more you do it, the heavier it becomes. Whatever you say, whenever you say, yeah, I don't feel it, I'm somebody that is totally immune to it. Yeah, no. You know. You know you're dragging a lot. When you die, all of that will drag you down into the abyss. That is a fact. Now, for me, it is about the living, making life better, and how to get rid of this ideology, this notion that there is property, that money can buy anything. I can get everything for free, literally. I don't even need to really ask. You know why? Because I just know. When I look at people, I know that they don't own anything. I know myself, I don't know. I own nothing. Everything that we have, everything that every person has, is by respect that we know that this stuff, these things are being used by this person. And with respect, if you're gonna use it, you will have to ask that person. It's all about being good, doing what is right, doing good. So by that, we can all live together with our stuff, because I don't really need the stuff of other people. I don't really have the same interest. I know some people are kind of like jealous when they see another person has some stuff, but that's actually idiotic. If we are in a world that I vision, actually jealousy becomes a notion that is totally idiotic. If you're jealous about somebody else, it's like, why don't you go just make them your own stuff, get your own stuff. And in a world where there is participation, where every person can get what is good for his life, I mean, you will have no need of having the stuff of another person. You will be fulfilled with everything that you have. But in this world, we actually create jealousy by making people poor, putting them into situations that are actually absolutely unreasonable and irresponsible for our, as a community, as a society, as people. It is a crime to just walk around, see people that have no homes, children that are, yeah, in the streets. It's just unbelievable. For me, I cannot. I see myself. You know, we are reflections of each other, and I see myself in people. When I see people suffer, I suffer myself, and I believe everybody is the same. We are interconnected. When we see somebody getting hurt in a certain way, we know by fact that we can be in the same place. Even if you're the greatest martial artist ever or whatever, you know that when people treat each other like that, it's no wonder that you will end up in the same place, because you did nothing to stop it in this first place. And that is very important. We have to stop all that is evil when we see it. And that goes for the system. I know. I have been living in this medieval world where there was this big armies of bullies being led by another leader of bullies who claim to be kings or emperor or whatsoever name they will give themselves to call themselves ruler of whatever piece of land that they claim. They murder, do all the horrible things that you may think of, and in the name of property. And then trade with other countries who actually are the same, run by bullies with armies of bullies. And yeah, they try to loot, and they put up a whole system to be able to control their slaves, so that the trade system, however it goes, that they're the ones that actually get the benefit from it. You can think of taxing. But yeah, we live in a world where all the time we're being intimidated somehow, some way. Even when you're absolutely rich, or not really rich, but you have no money problems or whatsoever, and you're living quite a stable life, still you feel threatened because you know somehow that this world is filled with people that are poor, that have situations that forces them to do stuff that they wouldn't want to do if they were in a better place, if they had a better life. And that's our responsibility. We have to make sure that everybody has a good life, and we can make that happen together. And that is what I'm asking. That is my plea, that is my cause. That is where I'm trying to go, together with you all. And I'm sure we can make this happen, because it has to happen. We want it to happen. All of us. We want a better life. We want this crap to stop, because we know that it leads nowhere. All this hate, all this me and you, all this blame game, all this this is mine, and all these wars. Nobody knows where it ends. All these weapons being built to better kill each other, all in the name of property, money, profit. Uh, it's just so oblivious, and we all know that, and we know where it leads, and we know that we have to stop it. And only together we can stop any kind of catastrophe, evil, natural evil, like we call it. So at the end, my vision, my system that I'm proposing you, it solves every single social problem, and it can stop any kind of evil, even natural evil. Because when we come together, when we are become one mind that works together fluidly, we can achieve anything. To do that, we can only do it with a participation system, and share everything equitably, in a smart way. Not talking about some communist system or something. We do not like the same. We do not need the same. We do not wear the same. We do not have the same kind of taste of woman or man or whatsoever. So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really a world that is organized to give you what you need when you need it. So if you need a clothes that looks some kind of way or whatsoever, you will be able to just ask for it, and it will be done for you. Nobody else will want to wear your clothes, because that clothes, they can get it for themselves. And all the resources are here. They're endless. Yeah, don't believe this crap about scientists saying, yeah, and we can know how much resources we have on the earth, and when it will end. Yeah, bullshit. They don't know that. They know nothing about this earth. Even the shape. Yeah, I know. They are telling you that the world is round. But I'll tell you, if you just go and do a little bit of research yourself, and just check out how the world is really made together, how it appears in your eyes logically, you'll know it's not a globe. So I'm not saying that it's a flat earth either. We don't know what it is. We just don't know. And we all know that this whole NASA is a big deceiving company that needs to end too. And that's all about also the knowledge of doing what is good, of applying and enforcing the law of good, because we will not accept any kind of lies anymore, any kind of way. We will only accept what is logic, what is fact, and what can be proven completely, without a doubt, without anybody saying, "Yeah, I'm scientist, so I know more than you." No, 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 no. Now you explain things and show it the way that makes it a fact. If it's not, then it's not a fact. It's a theory. It's something. It's a fantasy. I can also terrorize a lot of things. I mean, I can terrorize whatever. But at the end of the day, whatever I terrorize can never be a fact. Can never be something that I can prove completely. No. So all these theories that they're just shouting out, it's just unbelievable, and they sometimes even talk about it as if it was a truth, and that's when it gets really dangerous, and that's when it becomes deception, and deception is punishable by law, and we all know that. You don't want to be deceived. Nobody wants to be deceived, so it needs to be punished. So, and such deception is unbelievable, but they're making out money out of it. It's profit. And that's why profit is so evil, because it brings this kind of weird evil that you would think, but why would they do that? Why would they deceive all the world about the shape of the earth? Why? It's you would ask yourself, there is no reason to do that. But yeah, if they believe that they can profit from it, these oblivious people, they don't care. They will just keep on lying. And that's almost about everything. About what you eat, about what you drink, about the law, uh, yeah, about diseases, how they treat you when you're sick. So many lies. It's unbelievable how they abuse the misery of people to profit even more from it. And we all know that. That's what money brings. Money brings a mentality of voidless profit. It doesn't matter what you do. What matters is how you get the profit. That's just unbelievable. I just can't understand that. For me, it's odd that you people want to live like that in a world where people can profit from your misery. In a system that makes it actually that intensifies people, that gives the incentive, yeah, that's the right word, incentive to profit from your misery. So it needs to stop. And we all know what you need to do to make it stop. We have to speak out. We have to say no more. We have to say that we can live together by participating and making every goal happen by law. Now, It begins with trust. You know, due to the money and the property system, trust is almost gone with every human being. You cannot even trust your own son at a certain moment. You cannot trust your daughter, you cannot trust your wife, you cannot trust your mother, you cannot trust your father, you cannot trust your sister, nor your brother, nor your friends, because of money. And you know that because of property. At any time, any day, a lot of people say it. It's when you're really in bad trouble that you truly see who your real friends are. And those are the people who doesn't care about money, who doesn't care about property. They are the ones who will help you because they will see that they need to help a person. They will need to help an individual, a reflection of themselves. If they do not do that, they are actually trashing their own selves. They are actually ignoring themselves. They become voided people, hollow people. And that is by fact. Now, this system, this money and property system, has brought a lot of suffering and is still making us suffer every day in many ways. In our families, in our work, in everything that we almost do or touch or say. It becomes even difficult to have a relationship with anybody because of this money. It just turns people. It makes relationship toxic. Yeah, I remember when my sister came to me when I was like 9 or something, and she told me like, "Do you know we are rich?" And I was looking at her, and I was like, "What do you mean actually? What did she mean by we're rich? And how did she see that herself? I mean, what does it mean for her?" Because for me, I don't know, as a kid, at that time, I remember very well that for me, the world just was like that everybody had the right to live, everybody had the right to be, everybody had the right to participate, to be one with the social economic, and that we all had a place, and that we could all say, this man is the carpenter, or this man is the great technological finder. We have that, but very few. For me, it was like something that had to be a great event when people achieve things every year, that we name people like, yes, this man has, we do that, but it's very secular. It's nobody really has a touch about it. We don't really feel that every person gets the chance actually to be part of that. We give the impression that it is so, but we know by fact that to be able to get certain degrees, you have to pay money. So from education, they also make a profit business out of it. And at the end, the people that should be at the places that we need them, they are not there. So we only get people who have paid some money and were able to get the degree. But when they get to these places, the only thing that they care about is profit, to make their money and then go home. So the less they do, as long as they can make their bosses happy, then yeah, everything is fine. So yeah, it's a vicious circle what it does, all this money and property system. And we clearly need to stop that. We clearly need to put an end to this horrible system that is destroying actually all our ethics, our virtues, our life, the way we should live, happiness. It makes it very difficult to be happy in a world of money and property. At any time you can be a little bit happy for a little while, but it becomes like some kind of an orgasm or something. It's very short, and then suddenly again, a lot of people would tell, yeah, but the Buddhists say living is suffering. No, living is not suffering. Time is suffering. When you suffer, you see time. You start to count down the time because you want it to stop. You want it to end. You want the suffering to end. You want the time to end. So when you're actually looking at time, mostly you're setting up a time. Like, let's say when you're working and you don't like your work, and you really having a trouble staying at your work. At a certain moment, you'll be counting almost every second. And if you had another metric, you will be just counting that metric. It doesn't matter. And then you will be knowing that at this time, that suffering will end. Something else will start. Maybe it will be better, but it will be better anyway than what I'm doing now. So the suffering will end. And that makes it that time is suffering. And it needs to end. But life can be better. And we all know that. We can make our life pretty much the best ever. We can enjoy life in a way that we never thought possible before. And that's for all of you. Even those who have who believe I'm talking to them as if they were a criminal for profiting from the system. I will tell you something. This system has forced many of us to do evil things, sometimes without even knowing. And sometimes knowingly, but you just think like, okay, because it is like that, we have to continue like that. I have to be in this system and do things like that. So yeah, you were forced somehow. I myself, I've been born in this system, and I always thought like at a certain moment, like, okay, if everybody lives like that, I have to also take my share of the cake before everybody grabs the cake and I don't have anything for myself. So it becomes some kind of a gladiator game where you are in some arena trying to survive every opponent that is thrown at you. And that is that. And that is how living is being done, even at work, when you have certain positions and all this kind of stuff, promotions, or even to get the job itself. You get all this solicitation with all these people battling to just get the job, and then you know that you have to eliminate all these people. You have to be ruthless and only care about yourself. It's a horrible place that we are living in because of this system, when actually every person should be just set up. The more hands we have for each aspect of this economy, the better it is. But with the way things are being done, with how it is being organized due to the money and property system, it makes it some kind of a oblivious world where everything is about profit and people are disconnected. Actually, that's what they want. They want people to be disconnected. You want people to be disconnected when you are in such a profit business, because if they're disconnected, then they need you to connect to the world that they need to be. So that you're creating a stream. You're breaking actually the stream that makes it easy for everybody to be together, and you make a magnet of yourself so that they have to go through you so that you can profit from it before they can succeed. So at the end, only the wrong people and maybe a little bit of the people that we need will be at the right places. And that's very sad, because there are very important socio-economical task that needs to be done by the right people. If it's not done by the right people, we get very much big problems, and we can organize to make that everybody has a place in the society to be able to participate and know who they are, and really achieve and be a man of the society, a woman of the society, and know what you have achieved in this life. All of us. And we can do that. And we can do that with this participation system and by enforcing the law of good, by not accepting any evil anymore, any kind of way, any kind of, how do you call that, any kind of way that it can be done, this evil, that it exists. We have to just stop it. So any evil must be stopped, and money and property is a dangerous evil that is destroying everything. Now, I've explained why time for me is suffering, and why I call it the end of time, because for me it's the end of suffering when we start doing what I'm telling you all. That we come together, that we talk together, if it be through me, if it be through anybody. You can come together, we can come together, we talk together, make your groups, make anything you can. If you have ideas on how to make this happen in your own neighborhood, in your own region, whatever, with your people, with your connections, we have to connect together. Don't let these people that are trying to profit from our misery disconnect us. And even you who are doing it, let go. Know that the system that I'm telling you is also good for you. It is the system that is good for all the generation that you will bring, for all your children, for your family. It will bring back everything together. You won't have that the disconnection that money and property brings, and you won't have these fears anymore. It solves a lot and a lot and a lot of problems. And so we have to do it all together. We have to come and organize, talk, and make it happen. Because it is time that time ends. Yes, it is time that we stop looking at the clock and saying, when will the end of the world come, or something like that, or when will this evil end once and for all? Because we are suffering. We are all suffering from this. And this suffering must stop. So this is my message for today. I hope you like it. Please do not forget to comment, to help. This is important. I'm not just doing this just for to have fun or anything. It's for the best of everything, for the best of living, and to bring back the good into this earth and make this earth ruled by good. Yes? Okay, have a nice evening. Bye. Thank you for watching.